Hi there, Smart Drivers. Rick with Smart Drive Test talking to you today about follow-up of the hill start video for manual transmissions that I released yesterday. It's early here in British Columbia and I'm sitting here in my garden and it's very nice because I'm enjoying my first cup of coffee for the morning. It's probably around 6:30. So Salvador Dali from Algeria, who's one of our smart drivers, asked me yesterday when I did the video on hill starts in a manual transmission. I showed you two methods. One was to use the clutch. So you bring the clutch out to the friction point, move your foot from the brake to the throttle up more than you normally would on a flat start on where the ground is flat. So you're going to throttle up to 1500, 2000 RPM and then bring the clutch out expediently while you're pressing down on the throttle. And you want to squawk the tires rather than burning the clutch, because what happens is the two clutch plates in the transmission come together like this and they spin. Now, the other method that I showed you, which is driving culture in Algeria and England and Europe and other parts of the world, where you put the handbrake on to do a hill start on a manual transmission. And Salvador Dali asked me if the handbrake caused any damage to the vehicle. No, it doesn't cause any damage to the vehicle, because instead of applying the brakes with the hydraulic pressure that's created by the foot pedal, you're now simply pulling the handbrake up, and there's a cable attached to the hand lever that goes to the back brakes, the brakes on the rear of the vehicle, and applies the brakes. So you're just applying the brakes with a different power source. That's all. And I'll put the video for explaining that. It's actually a little bit to do with air brakes, but all vehicles have a service brake, an emergency brake, and a parking brake. Sorry, service, parking, emergency. And parking brakes and emergency brakes are one and the same thing, regardless of whether you're using hydraulic brakes or whether you're using air brakes. So long story short, it doesn't matter which method you use. Either method is going to work for you, and it's going to work well. It's just a matter of your own preference and what you feel more comfortable with. If you're learning how to drive, using the handbrake you might find a lot easier, because the handbrake will actually hold the vehicle in position while you give it a bit of throttle and then expediently let the clutch out. So that was the question I had from Salvador Dali that I wanted to answer for him. As well, Evaldis 256 in Lithuania. This is the great thing that I love about YouTube, is I am truly an international driving instructor. He left a comment that in Lithuania, they no longer are required to use the handbrake for hill starts. They simply let the clutch out to the friction point, hold the brake. When you get to the friction point, hold the vehicle with the clutch, give it throttle, and then expediently bring the clutch out. And again, as I said, spin the tires, not your clutch, because what happens is those two clutch plates in there get together and they start spinning against each other. And if you do it enough, there's going to be smoke and a very awful burning smell. David Yap left a comment saying that he was having difficulty with electronic throttles. Some of the newer vehicles, instead of a cable linkage from the throttle pedal, the fuel pedal, into the motor to the acceleration assembly, whether that's a carburetor or electronic fuel injection. It's all going to be electronic fuel injection in this day and age. We haven't had carburetors since the late 1980s. That was causing his hill starts to go awry. And I actually drove a new 2017 manual transmission vehicle, and on the hills it actually held on the hills. So I'm going to have to investigate that a little more and make another video about hill starts in a manual transmission in a new vehicle and see what that feature is. So I'll get back to you with another video on hill starts in a new vehicle and see if there's any difference in terms of the technology and whatnot. And finally, Rinwer watched the hill start on manual transmission and said that he didn't even know what a manual transmission was, but yet he was watching the video. Congratulations to Winwer. He passed his road test yesterday and was very excited about passing it. And I'm going to make another video to answer his comment about that, because he stated that he thought maybe the driving examiner had tried to trick him. That's possible, but I don't think so. So I'll make another video about that and address that comment. So hope you're having a great morning. Hope you're enjoying your coffee. I know on the East Coast and other parts of the world it's not morning time. It's well into the morning, because they're 3 hours ahead in New York and on the eastern seaboard of the United States and Canada. So I'll make another video for that. Thanks very much for watching. Good luck on your road test, and remember, pick the best answer, not necessarily the right answer. Have a great day. Bye now.